of the Kentucky Derby Triple Crown Showdown is our friend Larry Colbus.
Thanks, Mike. They're all in line. We're ready for the start. They're off in the Kentucky Derby Triple Crown Showdown. Justify was off to a slow beginning as Seattle Slew goes straight to the lead in the black and yellow colors. And right alongside is Count Fleet. Farther out, Omaha's next. Whirl Away in the blue and red splits horses, while Secretariat in those blue and white colors is fifth and down on the inside. They're being followed by Gallant Fox in between horses. And there goes Assault now, moving up between rivals and getting close to the pace to a 23.52 opening quarter mile. Then it's back to Sir Barton, followed by Affirmed War Admiral. American Pharaoh is third last early on in those turquoise and yellow silks. Citation in the red is next. And Justify is at the back of the field. So they make their way to the backstretch with Slew in front. Seattle Slew onto the backstretch, the leader. Count Fleet in second. Omaha's third. Secretariat right there now, running in fourth, just 2 lengths off the lead to a 46.54 half mile. And they're being followed by Affirmed, just making progress in the pink colors on the inside. Farther out comes Gallant Fox. And now, here come American Pharaoh and Citation, and they're moving together. They're within 5 lengths of the lead as they make their way to the half-mile pole, where the leader is Seattle Slew from Count Fleet. On the outside, Omaha starts to drop back. Secretariat now takes third. Whirl Away is fourth and down on the inside. American Pharaoh 3 wide on the turn, now 5 lengths from the front. Then Affirmed at the rail and Citation. Around the far turn, it is still Seattle Slew. American Pharaoh is sweeping up on the outside and bumped there at the top of the stretch with Whirl Away. Secretariat starting to put in his bid. And they're into the stretch. And it's Seattle Slew who comes down to the final furlong in front. Secretariat runs at him. American Pharaoh is in the center of the track. Citation is down toward the rail. Into the last 16. Here comes Secretariat in the middle. Citation on the inside. Then Seattle Slew and American Pharaoh. Here's the finish. Secretariat has won it. Over Citation. Then Seattle Slew. Affirmed an American.
This Kentucky Derby. The 1 is Bam Sister. The 2 is Nana 49. The 3 is Withdrawn. The 4 is Winged Feeny. The 5 is Made to Sin. The 6 is Profound. Give me Jensen. The 7 is Shoot from Hip. The 8 is Folly on Wheels. The 9 is Mandani. The 10 is Rebel Force. The 11 is Leal Loft. The 12 is Lord High Admiral. The 13 is Adam Lynn. 14 is Blue. The 15 is Warrior Chant. The 16 is Positive Thinking. The 17 is Ginger Hags. The 18 is Bronx Bomber. The 19 is Slither. And the 20 is Mr. C. So that's all we have for the video today. And they're rolling on and we're ready for the start. And they're off and racing in the Derby. Bronx Bomber now takes. He's in the lead. Only outside in second. It's Rebel Force and Slither now in third. They passed the wire for the first time. And now heading into the clubhouse turn of the Derby. It's Rebel Force now in the lead, with Bronx Bomber in second, Slither in third, Manachi in 4th, and Lord Admiral in 5th. Mount Pansy Star in 6th. The favorite Rowan connection is, and the one is the 18 Bronx Bombers now in the lead, and they've only had sides. We're now at the big stretch. When the 5 Mighty Sin is now on the outside, and they're going to, and it looks like they're going to reach the top of the stretch. It's still Bronx Bomber in the lead, and they're at the top of the stretch. Slither now in 2nd, Lord Admiral now in 3rd, and now the 12th and 4th, now in 5th, and he's now in 6th. So from the hip is now in the lead, and they're now approaching the final furlong for the Derby. It's still from the hip, still in the lead. It's still from the hip, still in the lead, and he manages to win the Derby. Those odds were 7, 11, 1, 2, 3, 12, 18, 19, 13, 17, 8, 9, 14, 6, 5, 16, 17, 15, 4, 10, and 20. The 7 shoots from the hip. Hold on. Ready for the start. And Robin racing in the Kentucky Derby. Now the 5 is in the lead. Now the 14, Moen is now in the lead with the 20 Dan Candy in 2nd and Dejanette in 3rd. Gun Runner in 4th now with Outwork in 5th. Tom's RDY is now in I think he's now in 6th or 7th, I don't know. And Gun Runner is now in the lead. So on the outside, it's Outwork. Now in 2nd, Dan Candy is in 4th now. Morse Bear is now in 3rd. Tom's Rider is in 5th, I think. Outwork is... The 13 Nyquist is now in 4th, and Gun Runner is still out in the lead. Now it's 5:17, 13:15. On the outside, it's Gun Runner still in the lead, Nyquist in 2nd, Morse Bear in 3rd, and the 16 is in 4th. On the outside, they now are going to reach the wire. They look like they're going to reach the wire, and it's Nyquist now in the lead. And it's Nyquist who is now in the lead, and Nyquist wins the Kentucky Derby.
The race this American loves to call, it's the Run for the Roses. The Kentucky Derby presented by Yum Brands is just minutes away. The most exciting 2 minutes in sports under the twin spires here of Churchill Downs. Louisville, one great sight to watch a horse race. And our favorite Tsar approval for John Morgan hopes to take this race. He's undefeated this season, trying to make it 3-4-3. Be a very good race. They're in line. They're about ready for the start. And they're off in the Kentucky Derby. A very good start for all. Maybe best for Za Approval on the rail, and Za Approval will take them across the wire for the first time. Za Approval, the leader, Apolitical Time on the rail, sits in second. River Dune on the outside goes to third with Monte Carmelo, and then Entrance to Heaven. Apolitical Time pokes ahead in front. Halfway through the turn is the leader, but Za Approval fights on back, and then here comes Monte Carmelo and Roman Fizz. It's Za Approval, the leader, Roman Fizz just passing on by, and Roman Approval will lead them onto the backstretch here in the Kentucky Derby. Roman Fizz, the leader, Pepperoni Pete sits in second, Monte Carmelo in third. Then it goes Apolitical Time in fourth, Entrance to Heaven in fifth, Streep in sixth, Prohibition Almighty in seventh. Behind them, Nebraska and Rock Tea and River Dune. Then it's Token and St. James in the back three are into the future. Key Solutions and Gulf Shores. The leader now with 6 furlongs left to run, it's Roman Fizz by about a length over Pepperoni Pete and Monte Carmelo. Splitting horses is Entrance to Heaven, trying to find some running room, and then a wall of horses behind them led by Apolitical Time, Streep, and River Dune. Za Approval trying to find some room as well, being boxed in mid-pack, but as they head to the far turn, it's Roman Fizz, the leader, by a nostril as Pepperoni Pete fights on by, and Pepperoni Pete is your new leader. On the far outside, River Dune is running well. Finding some running room is Za Approval, now sneaking onto the rail, and Za Approval found a lane. And Za Approval running up the rail, moving into third. It's Roman Fizz and Pepperoni Pete. The two of them are going to be 1-2 as they go down the stretch here. The Kentucky Derby with 2.5 furlongs to run. Roman Fizz, the leader on the far outside. Here comes Entrance to Heaven. The three of them are all bobbing heads. Pepperoni Pete, Entrance to Heaven. Roman Fizz starting to fade back. Za Approval just waiting for a running lane. It's Pepperoni Pete, Entrance to Heaven. Still no room for Za Approval, furlong to run. He's trying to sneak up the rail. It's Pepperoni Pete, Entrance to Heaven. The head bob, you have nothing in between them. Entrance to Heaven. Pepperoni Pete poking in front. Pepperoni Pete might have just gotten there. Pepperoni Pete and Entrance to Heaven in a very close.
They're all in line, and we're ready for the start. They're off in the Santa Anita Derby lengths. It's Winning Colors over Silver Charm, Silky Sullivan, and closing up the fence late is Tiago as they come down. Silky Sullivan, and closing up the fence late is Tiago as they come down to the wire. It's Winning Colors. Winning.
Look at this. 1, 2, 3. The 7 is correct. That's all there is. That's. Get my jacket blocking my view. This.
And closing up the fence late is Tiago as they come down to the wire. It's Winning Colors. Winning Colors is going to come home.
While many anxiously await the first Saturday in September, you could at least enjoy a simulated Derby today. Some of the best racehorses ever faced off in the Triple Crown Virtual Showdown. The field featured Secretariat, Sir Barton, Gallant Fox, Omaha, War Admiral, Count Fleet, Assault, Whirlaway, Citation, Seattle Slew, Affirmed, American Pharaoh, and Justify. It looks so real, it almost was hard to tell it was a simulation until you get an up-close shot like that one. Now, the computer algorithm went with Secretariat as the winner.